The Buffalo Bills just got big news heading up into their Monday night matchup against the Atlanta Falcons. Bills Mafia today, we're going to be talking about Ed Oliver and how he's saying he's ready and really what that could mean and what that looks like against this Falcons team. I also want to talk about the 2 practice squad signings that we got, and I also want to talk about some other things that are coming out of our PR department from the Buffalo Bills, from their media, and we're just going to break those things down. We're going to do it here in about 10 minutes, but in all of that, my name's Colin. This is Crack the Table. We're all Bills, no breaks. My responsibility, my duty, my job, my joy is to bring you Buffalo Bills content every single day. Just updates about where the team is, where they're going, even where they've been, and even some of these injuries, which was where we're going to start. We're going to start by talking about Ed Oliver. I'll show you an interview and some of his play, even from earlier this year in a moment. But we know that yesterday he was interviewed and he told the reporters that he was ready. You know, we know that, that we are really excited to have this guy back, given how we've struggled to stop the run, and even on the interior of our defensive line to get after the quarterback. Ed Oliver is a game changer. Even if you just watch the tape right here, he did really, really well week 1 against the Ravens, especially late in the game. He was a very key asset and key player that really pushed us over the edge to get that victory, which is still a good victory. Whatever you want to say about how bad the Ravens are, you know what? We were the team that broke them. We were the team that ended their trajectory and made it so this guy right there, King Henry, looks like that. Ed Oliver's getting in the backfield. Ed Oliver's making big tackles. Look at him. He's just really, really great for setting up these big plays. But again, here, check this interview out. I'll play this right on the screen. Listen up here.
How you feeling and progressing?
I feel good. I feel a lot better than last week, a lot more confident. I'm ready.
What was it about last week? We saw you out there, but not good.
It just, you know, I wasn't where I needed to be, and I'm still not where I need to be, but I'm a lot better than last week, so that's...
You know, I want to stop it right there again. Again, he's saying, you know, he's a lot better than last week, yet he's still improving. He says, regardless, that I'm ready. I think this is a guy who wants to get on the field, who hates that we lost to the Patriots. I think would have been the difference if he was in the game to win us that game against the Patriots, but he's ready to get back in there. Let's continue listening on.
It's promising signs, you know, to go back out there and, you know, do my thing.
Is there something specific when you say you're better than last week? Like, is there something specific that you feel more comfortable with?
I say conditioning-wise, pain level, and then it's a football aspect of it too, of me not playing for 4 weeks and just getting back into the flow of the game. And
He's getting those reps. We've seen him time and time again this last week, but also this week, of getting back in there, getting back on the field, getting those reps, getting some of that conditioning. I think he's going to be ready to go on Monday night. That's where all the signs are pointing. There's still a practice report to come out here today on Saturday. I haven't quite seen that. I've got to go to a wedding this evening, so I've got to get this video out a little bit earlier today. But when we look at this practice report, if you're looking with me here on the screen, look at this. Dion Dawkins, a full participant Friday in practice. That's great to see. We know he showed up with the hand or the thumb injury earlier this week. We didn't like that. And if you look at this practice report, the Bills' formal report, Connor McGovern, who had the hand injury last week against the Patriots, is not on the injury report at all. A couple other guys here that we need to talk about: Damar Hamlin, not practicing. Matt Milano with the pec injury, enduring, not practicing. Not surprised, but again, not practicing. Guys that are also not playing right now, not practicing, is Curtis Samuel. I guess 2 catches was enough for him to get to a point where he's not practicing again. That's a letdown. We'll talk about this in a little bit when we look at some of the things coming out of the PR. We're really excited about Dalton Kincaid and his season and what he's been doing. But you know what? There is an issue on our team where we cannot get dynamic pass catchers the ball and have them be consistent. But again, TJ Sanders out. What I'm really excited about on Monday night, hopefully, is to see Deion Walker and Ed Oliver paired up and just some of the growth and development. Yesterday, and even the last couple days, we've been seeing Ed Oliver talk about how he's so proud of Deion Walker and the development that our 4th-round rookie has had. A lot of people have been saying that Brandon Beane stinks at drafting. We should trade draft capital away for a player right now and just get a good player. But in all of that, this guy still, 4th-round pick, regardless of his recent injury, has showed flashes. And I can't wait to see the trio and the rotation of Daquan Jones, of Ed Oliver, and again, even Deion Walker get in there and get in the backfield and stop the run. That's really going to help out our run game. Dalton Kincaid has showed up with this oblique injury. Some people thought it was maybe a different injury, but it turns out it was an oblique injury. We got to talk about that. But again, very important. Taylor Rapp is a full participant. We'll see him and Cole Bishop, I think, out on the field on Monday night. But the other one who did not practice or that did not play last week that we were concerned about was Dorian Williams. And we'll talk about a practice squad move recently by our team of another linebacker in a couple moments. But Dorian Williams is back as a full participant, and we love to see that. I want to talk right now about Jalen Kimber. A couple of things on him. The story behind him is one of persistence. I don't know if you've known this guy or heard this guy. It says on the screen right here, he went to Penn State. He actually also played at Georgia and Florida. 3 powerhouse programs, 1 mission to prove he belongs in the biggest games, in the biggest moments. He's 24 years old as of right now. He's back on the Buffalo practice squad after a short stint with Tennessee. Kimber's he's a raw player, but he is tested. He did play against SEC and Big Ten competition. He played against the receivers and battled through transfers, earning respect as he went along. Again, that's a player. Yes, it's kind of hard to see him go from program to program, but with a long frame, good instincts, and he's a guy who plays with confidence. I think we're going to see him potentially get pulled up if we see any more injuries, or again, if Maxwell Hairston for some reason cannot get on the field, we might see this guy get pulled up, especially with the Dorian Strong injury. But again, the question, is he ready right now? No, he's not. He is a practice squad player right now, but his tape shows a corner who can compete. And again, in our zone scheme, there's going to be less individualized pressure on him because we're not forced in these one-on-one situations. Again, think where he needs to grow in his communication, his ability to trust and to follow the good calls on defense that are made. And he's the kind of player that may not make noise right now, but maybe we can develop him into a better cornerback. Again, we've had some later round guys or some guys who we didn't think would produce early on. Again, Dorian Strong coming in beside his neck injury has been pretty good as a player. So maybe Jalen Kimber can come in and produce maybe at that sort of level. But I also want to talk about Balin Spector. Balin Spector, again, is not a highlight name, but he is now a guy who's a steady hand. He's kind of quiet fire. He's I believe in his 3rd year. He was drafted in 2022 in the 7th round. He clawed his way really to every single opportunity that he's had. Special teams, spot starts, practice reps. And again, he's not flashy as a player, but he's seemingly reliable. He played at Clemson. He plays pretty fast. He tackles decently well, which again, when you look at what we need on our team, we need linebackers, especially if Matt Milano is hurt and out. We're adding some context here. If he is out, if Matt Milano's out, or if Dorian Williams' injury persists, we might see Balin Spector get called up. But again, Jimmy Charlo and Joe Andreessen were in the game last week on the active roster. And actually, Joe Andreessen, he had a good game last week, which is great to see. He had very limited snaps, but he still had a pretty good game. But for roster fighting and through these injuries that we're going through, Spector's value is not just going to be, we throw him out there, we pull him up, quickly onto the active roster. We're not going to see that, but we're going to see him really as a steady hand from Monday to Saturday, really getting ready and getting reps as well. But the couple other things I want to talk about here is just rounding up the herd. I really appreciate some of this stuff coming out from the PR department. A couple things, quick highlights. You don't have to read this. I'll read it to you. Couple things. The big one here is James Cook is on fire. He leads the NFL in touchdowns, 21 since 2024, as this says, but also he's going up over 400 rushing yards already this season. He's only behind Jonathan Taylor in the NFL, but Josh Allen also joins the elite company, one of just 3 reigning MVPs with 12 total touchdowns and 2 or fewer interceptions through 5 games. Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre are really the only other guys to do this, both Packers players, or of course Aaron Rodgers is now with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but Dalton Kincaid is also the other guy that this document highlights. And the one thing, down here, number 3, the thing that I don't love about that, again, is yes, his 12 yards per target is the highest by a tight end since 2015, and he's nearing 100 yards a game streak for the Bills tight end as a Bills tight end. But regardless of what that means, or regardless of the positives for the tight end, this again just leads me back to look at our wide receiver room and ask the question is, why is Dalton Kincaid our leading receiver? This is potentially an issue for me, but he is a mismatch. He is getting open. Unfortunately, he does have that oblique injury, but regardless, we're excited for Dalton Kincaid. He's having a great year. I talked about him a couple days ago. If you didn't see that video, go watch it. But the offensive line, again, is holding up very strong. They've allowed the lowest pressure rate, 22.3%, and giving Josh Allen the longest time to throw, 2.92 seconds in the NFL. But then again, this Buffalo has been dominating teams in the NFC. They're 3-13 versus NFC teams and averaging 32 points a game in those matchups. Now, the Atlanta Falcons have been a pretty good team quietly, even though they're only 2-2 and they're just coming off the bye. This might be a good game. It's not a trap game. We should win this game, especially if Ed Oliver again is back. But a couple other things I want to talk about. Leading the charge, again, this one's really helpful for us, is the Bills face the Falcons on Monday Night Football, 7:15 p.m. I think I'm going to be going live. I'm still trying to figure out the details of what that looks like, but this is the 14th time that we've met with the Falcons before. Again, we've had this level of indoor dominance. Buffalo is 11-4. Indoors, averaging 27 plus points per game. So we have the potential to really put up 30-ish points this game, and it shouldn't be too hard. But again, James Cook is on this historic pace, especially indoors. This is only going to amplify his potential. But Josh Allen again is continuing to make history with his production. Let's see if he can tone down on these turnovers that we recently had. But lastly, not leastly, is the Falcons have some players, some familiar faces on here that I thought was helpful. When we look at Leonard Floyd, played for the Falcons in 2023, Cole Bishop and Jordan Hancock, all hail from Georgia. That's adding a little bit of local flavor to this, but in all of it, we're excited for this game. It's coming up in a couple days. There's a lot to be said. It's an earlier game, so it maybe gives us an opportunity to hang out with some friends. My kids will probably be able to watch more of the game with me on this one, but regardless, excited to be here, excited to bring you another just bunch of updates for the Buffalo Bills. But in all of it, my name's Colin. This is Crack the Table. We are all Bills, no breaks, every single day, breaking down Buffalo Bills football. Just trying to give you the facts, just trying to give you the relevant information that lets you be prepared and lets you be in the know for everything Buffalo football. But that being said, God bless, go Bills, have a great Saturday.